Ooh, nice. All right, y'all. Made a post on Instagram the other day, and by the way, another thing, if you want to follow me this fall, we now have a do-it-yourself on our Instagram page, which is what I'm gonna be posting on 90% of the time, to keep up with me, like semi-live, whatever you want, or live-ish, post and stuff on my stories and stuff. It's all gonna be on the do-it-yourself on our Instagram. So if there's 5,000 of y'all watch this, I know at least half of y'all have Instagram, so go follow it if you want to keep up with me. All you gotta do is go over to Instagram, hit follow, there you go, you're done. So anyway, but what I made the post on the other day was we got a bunch of new gear in from Arsenal, and a couple people was like, man, y'all need to do a video. Well, I'm fixing to do a video, and this video, I'm not going through none of my camera gear. I'm not going to go through all that. Literally what I'm doing is the basic. Anybody that is just hunting, you're not filming, you're not doing none of that, the basic what you need and pretty much bare minimum gear is what I'm going to go over, and I'm going to go through the new stuff for 2025. So finally got out here and found a little shade because it's 90 something degrees out. It's been hot, but trying to get this done real quick, so before I get to sweating too much out here, I'm gonna go ahead, we're gonna get everything set up, and I'm gonna run through it for y'all. But don't forget, go to Instagram, right down here it shows, that's the username. Go follow me on, or us, it's me posting. Jeremy doesn't post on Instagram, he does better on Facebook. It's pretty much me on Instagram, but do-it-yourself hunter page. So also I'm still gonna keep my personal page for those that want to follow. I may not post on it near as much, but I am going to keep that. So those of you that have followed me on that, stay with it. I'll still post every once in a while on it, but for the main part, go follow me on Do-It-Yourself Hunter, because that's going to be the new way of keeping up with me while I'm on these road trips and hunting. So let's get to it. I'm going to make this quick as I can before I really start sweating. So let's do it. All right, see, it's hot, like I said earlier, and I'm sweating, so I'm gonna try and make this as quick as I possibly can. But starting off, new thing that Arsenal's come out with this year that I'm gonna be running is the new Agile backpack. Now this is the bigger pack, this is the large version. With me running camera gear and all that stuff and some extra stuff I always take with me, I need as much as I can get, and I'm not 100% sure on the cubic inches of this. I'm thinking right around over 2,000, somewhere in there, 2,200 maybe. Don't quote me on that. If you want to check it out, go to huntarsenal.com, check it out. Details are down there. Also, if you want to save 15% on anything Arsenal, use our promo code DIYHunter15. That'll get you 15% off. But enough of that. Let's go back to the gear. Like I said, I like a larger backpack. One, packing deer out. Two, with camera gear, I need as much room as I can get. So, starting off, we got the Agile backpack, like I said. First things first, when you get to a tree, what do you need? You need your steps first. You know, a lot of people one stick. I'm a 3-stick guy, you know. I've never really got into the one sticking. It's not me, but Arsenal, for anybody that does one stick, Arsenal has come out with probably the best one stick that there is, hands down. But for me, one sticking is not my thing. So I'm running exactly what I ran last year. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. This is the, I can't remember this is the Arsenal Icon extension sticks. That's all I know what I need, you know, that's all I know to call them by. But ran them all last year, great sticks, loved them. I love how they pack up. I mean, look at that, 3 sticks, extend out to 20 inches. With an 8er and 3 steps, I can stretch it and get about 20, 21 feet, somewhere in there. But awesome, love them. There they go. So, after we get our sticks out and we start them up the tree, we're gonna break into the main part of the pack, and here's where it starts getting fun. I don't care what anybody says, you know, we run Arsenal stuff. And there's tons of other stuff out there, but this is top notch, the best platform, hands down. I don't care what anybody says, and I'm not one to argue with people, so don't argue with me. This is the best platform, period. The lightest and the most packable platform you are gonna get. Look how streamlined that is. I don't know if you can see that. That's an inch wide, literally. Super light, made out of some kind of high-tech metal. Not sure what it is, honestly. I'm not all technical about that. If I like it, it works, great. And look at there. Now how packable can you get? How much more packable can you get than that right there? You got your top piece, you can fold her down, lay that down, look at there. And I'm telling you, it's so light. This year they added a little bit of a slant to the front of it, so if you're standing there, you're not on a perfectly flat, you got a little bit of an angle to it. Plus, another thing, great thing that Arsenal does, is they have this little side clip. So say you got a belt or something, or with these Arsenal saddles, it's integrated, so you can just clip it right on there and climb up the tree. You don't have to worry about tying or clipping, none of that. It's got a clip made into it. When you get up there, well, stuck on my belt. You pull it off and you put it around the tree. Simple as that. With a rope right here. It's got this, I think it's like an 8-foot rope or something. You can get around, if you can get your sticks around the bottom, you can get this around the top of the tree. Pretty much as simple as it gets. So, there's that. Next in line. This is literally how I pack my backpack every single time. I always put my platform in the actual pack, saddle in the very bottom, and under that is always going to be my camera gear. But like I said, I'm not going through camera gear, none of that stuff. I've made 2 or 3 videos on that, so if y'all want to go back and find one of them, do it if you want to see that. So, this here is my early season run and gun, hunt afternoons, hunt mornings for a few hours saddle. This is what I'm going to be primarily using this for, is quick hunts or early season hunts when it's really hot. We have the Arsenal Air saddle, and when you think saddle, you think light. That's the whole point of saddle hunting, is light. This is the epitome of light. 13 ounces. 13 ounces without all my extra ropes and straps in here. The saddle itself, 13 ounces. That's why it's called the Air. It's light as air. But got a little side pouch here. This is what I keep in it. If anybody knows what this is or don't know what this is the king of comfort when it comes to saddle hunting. Arsenal has done a great job, literally, with all their stuff. The knee sling. Now, there's going to be a little clip come across right here of how this knee sling works. And for some people, you might not can comprehend of how it actually works and how comfortable this is, but this here is better than any knee pad or cushion that you can use saddle hunting up against a tree, because your knees don't touch the tree. You have no pressure on your knees against the tree with this knee sling. And it is made to work with the Arsenal saddles because they have sewn an extra loop in the actual saddle that these hooks right here hook into, which hang down just perfect for your knees. You can adjust it for whatever you need, bigger the tree, any of that, and it is literally the most comfortable. There's nothing else more comfortable, literally. So, that's one great thing out of many. Another thing I carry in this little pouch here, got my ropes, lineman rope, tethered rope, whatever you want to call it. They're in there. Lastly, in the bottom, because this is how I pack them, we have the new, this is the daisy chain cam buckle strap hanger, if you want to call it that. I think it's just called the daisy chain cam buckle strap. But we have a cam buckle system, super simple, pretty much self-explanatory. Loop, run it through, cinch it down, clip your stuff on, yada yada, there you go. And then, like I said, the Air saddle, whenever there's nothing in it, I mean, it's literally light as a feather, but tons of adjustments. It has a semi back support system, very semi. That's why, I mean, it's a minimalist. This is for the people that Like I say, early season when it's hot, you don't want a lot of padding, a lot of cushion behind you. It's cooler, but it still has adjustability and still extremely comfortable for the size it is. So that pretty much runs through everything in this pack. But for whenever I start hunting all day sets and it gets a little cooler in the winter and all that stuff, or if you're just one that wants the best, most comfortable saddle, here it is. The upgraded Cloud Infinity. Now, last year, if anybody's seen, we used the Cloud X's. So if you've seen it or if you used any of those last year, you know they had a strap for a bridge. Well, they changed that. They listened. A lot of people didn't like the strap. So they came out with a new version, with a roped version for your bridge. And the adjustability in this thing is literally absolutely top notch, from your back support system to your lower legs. Just the amount of space that you have that's padded, and it's comfortable. It's absolutely comfortable. I'm gonna sling this on right quick, show y'all. Same, you know, slip knot, Prusik knot there in the front, and then look. You see how much padding it is, how far it goes? It spreads the weight out so much and so far on your back and on your legs, on your hips, and the way it's padded, it keeps you from having hip pinch. You know, if anybody knows what I'm talking about, with a lot of saddles, and especially, and I think there's probably a happy medium with a lot of people. Sometimes really skinny guys like myself, you'll have a little bit of hip pinch because the saddle's wrapping around you so much. And then I think also too, some really big guys that run it also have hip pinch because it's coming from way out here and making more of a, instead of making this shape, it's making more of this shape. So it kind of puts a little more pressure. But the way this spreads out so much across your back and your legs, your hip pinch is very, very minimal. Very minimal. So there's your gear list. Also, another thing on this Infinity is if you're one of those ones that like to, say, walk in with your saddle, wearing your saddle in, I'm not one of those guys. I like putting everything in a backpack, and when I get to a tree, that's when I get everything out and climb. Literally, I put everything in a backpack, saddles, everything. If you, like I say, if you're one of those guys that like to walk in with your saddle on, you don't have to have as big a backpack. They have a smaller version of this Agile backpack. And what I'm getting to is it has super deep side pouches that are made in with zippers. So you can put, gosh, you can put so much stuff in here. You can put all your ropes, anything you need. If you want to put snacks in here, you can put snacks in these pouches because they're just big and roomy. I mean, literally all this is a pocket. So you have plenty of room if you're one that wears your saddle in to put stuff in here, walk in with it. And you could get the smaller version of this Agile pack to literally put your sticks and your platform in and walk in with that. There's also another pack, I can't remember the exact name of it, but it's on the website, but it's literally for the absolute minimalist mobile hunter because it has a saddle, it has a platform pouch and a stick where you can strap your sticks. And that's pretty much it. And then if you wear your saddle in, it's absolutely perfect. And if you're one of those guys that one stick, it's even lighter than that. So, hey, that's my review. That's me talking about my gear. And like I say, everything that I just had that I pulled out of this pack is what somebody would need to go hunting. I mean, that's all you need right there to go hunting. You have a saddle, you have your platform, your sticks, you pack, all your ropes, your straps, everything you need. And if you want to carry extra stuff, that's your own little way you hunt, that's fine. Some people, ozonics, if you want to carry just extra stuff in general, if you're one that puts your binoculars in there and you need a pack, that's all extra. But that right there that I just showed you is absolutely all you need to hunt with, besides your bow or your gun. Other than that, that's all you need to hunt with. That's all you need to carry in the woods. And everybody talks about, oh, I want to get into saddle hunting, but it's expensive. I'm just gonna stick with lock-ons or whatever. Well, this is one thing that I've always looked at it. This is how I've looked at it. Yes, say a stand and steps, yeah, they're cheaper. Don't get me wrong, they're cheaper. But if you go hang that in one spot, you've only got one spot to hunt. Well, then you need to go buy you another. If you need another set over here for a different wind for a different day, so you have to have, you know, 2, say maybe 3 sets or maybe even 4. You get 3 or 4 lock-on and step sets, you know, scattered around, you're actually over the budget of a whole saddle setup. And with a saddle setup, I can go hunt 3 or 4 spots and never have to leave my stuff and never need but one setup. So, you know, if you look at it in the long run, saddle hunting is cheaper in a way than most, you know, any other hunting system. So, hey, appreciate y'all watching. Like I say, follow me on Instagram. I think it's _do-it-yourself-hunter. Can't really remember, but anyway, I'll drop it right down here below. Like I say, if there's 5,000 of y'all watch this video, at least half of y'all are gonna have Instagram. Go follow it if you wanna follow me this fall. Go over there, just hit follow. It don't take but literally a second. So, appreciate y'all watching. Also, don't forget, anything you wanna get from Arsenal at huntarsenal.com, use our promo code DIYHunter15, save you 15% at checkout. So, hey, appreciate it, and we'll see y'all next time.